Hello, and welcome to the Green Team of the Legendarium, the weird little spin-off podcast where we get together and talk about our favorite books that the original isn't doing anymore. I'm Seeker, and we've got Tori with us today, who's joining us
Hello,
from...
Internet. Hey, Tori from Cosmere Cast.
All right, and Little Red Book.
Hello.
And today we have something special for you. We're reviewing the Bromeliad by Terry Pratchett, and we thought we'd try to give it an Easter twist. So we'll see how we do.
Okay, but I was going to give it a Play-Doh twist.
Well, you can do that too. But anyways, so is this anyone's first time reading this book?
Yes, it's my first time. Actually, my second time because I reread it right like last night. But it is. I've read a lot of Terry Pratchett. Apparently, this book is geared towards like middle readers, I want to say.
That's correct. Yes.
And I kind of first of all, I'm a great believer that just because it's children's literature, it's not good. It's a wonderful book. It's delightful as always. Its humor is a lot darker than I think would be acceptable to market to kids, but then there's Hunger Games now. So I guess not. I do wonder what American kids think about reading this book because it has all the words that we use for things are in the book are British. It hasn't been Americanized like Harry Potter. But yeah, it's funny and delightful. And there's this like whole weird little well, first of all, there's a hero's journey of him going out into the world, all these little gnomes going out into the world. And then there's this weird cult plate thing going on in the place they land. And the epigraphs are all like written to sound like King James English Bible verses.
Yes.
But I love the opening where it talks about time. I mean, I just think that's such a brilliant way, of dealing with the situation. Or dealing with that concept, because I don't think that's something kids think about. And it's not something I actually think about, because birthdays take forever when you're a kid, but that's because it's a proportion of your life.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
And that's really true, because when you're an adult, you're like, oh my God, it's my birthday again.
Right.
And I love how, with the gnomes, they're small, and so they move 10 times faster than people because they're 10 times smaller.
Right. And they also... they experience their 10 years of life as we would experience our whole life.
Yeah.
I love the culture clash between the two sets of gnomes in the book. Oh, the funniest part was the talking about the tree, how the tree first notices the lightning, and then the or whatever, the ants and stuff kill him. That's like the only thing he ever realizes in his life. I just thought it was just it was a great opening. It hooked me in, and the characters are absolutely charming.
Yeah. So this was not my first time reading it. It was my third time reading it. I first read it when I was in high school, which is about the time it was published. They did Americanize it back then. But anymore, I don't think they really do that anymore.
Well, I listened to audio, and it was not Americanized.
Correct, yeah. And then I read it again probably after grad school. So it's been more than 10 years since the last time I read it. But
so how did it...
it was delightful visiting it again. But also a fun experiment in how memory works, because I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember this book. And then you change over time, and your view of things changes over time. And just there were scenes that I was like, yeah, I remember this scene very distinctly, and it totally didn't happen that way. So like I had just constructed it in my brain. Particularly so when Masklin and his group get to the store, and they go to meet the abbot, and the abbot of the stationery is pretending he can't see them because the outside doesn't exist, and therefore gnomes from the outside cannot exist, and so he's not looking at them. But then after they have left, some other stationary gnome comes out and is like, so the abbot wants to see you now. And then they have a private meeting with the abbot, because like you can't admit that you were wrong in front of everybody, even if you're obviously wrong.
Well, the abbot
Yeah,
isn't
the
the only
whole
one who can't
official
see him,
capacity
okay?
versus reality.
Right. But
Mm.
so after that, the abbot is like, yeah, y'all go get a meal or something, but leave the thing here. And he has a whole conversation with the thing. And in my head, I was so sure that we were part of that conversation, that was a scene that we got to see, but no, it was off screen. And I
Mhm.
was like, really? And there was um just before we started recording, we decided we're only going to talk about the first book of the trilogy, but there was another scene in book 3 that did the same thing to me. I was like, this is completely not how I remembered it. So, wild the way that works.
Hmm.
Yeah, it really is. I just had that
I'm
experience with a
having,
different book. So,
yeah, I was going to say, I'm having a very similar experience right now with Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh no.
okay.
Yeah, my first time watching was, my God, that mother-in-law is from hell. This time watching, my God, Raymond is a total jerk of a husband.
Yes.
The mother-in-law is still no peach, but Raymond, come on.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I had a similar experience with A Raisin in the Sun. Had to read that in high school, and the I don't remember it very clearly, but like it's a family drama, and there's a daughter who she wants to make something of herself, and she doesn't want her family to drag her down, and and as a teenager reading that book, I'm like, yeah, I'm with you. But later I read it in grad school, and it was like, oh, you spoiled princess. Get in there and
Hmm.
help your family. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, they would make it if you would chip in. And it was just
Yep.
same book,
Now I want to go
same
reread that
girl,
because I haven't read it since
different
college.
decade.
Yeah. I have had that experience with a lot of books that I read as a kid, and I was like, ooh. I tried Jane Eyre again, though, and I still didn't like it. I
Oh,
still
same,
get
yeah.
mad.
I feel that way about Gatsby.
Yeah.
I read Great Gatsby in high school, and I was like, "Why? Why did we read this?" And then when the film came out a few years ago, oh gosh, more than a few years ago now. What is time, y'all?
Right?
I was like, "Yeah." My friends and I decided we would all read it together, and then all go see the movie together. And on rereading that book, I can conclude that with the maturity of having college behind me, I can tell you why it's an American classic and why everybody says it's good. I just hate all of the people in that book.
Oh my gosh, me
N-
too.
all of
Hmm.
those
I actually
characters
did
can
reread it.
yeah.
I
Yes.
reread it short after I had kids because I read it in high school. And I was like, no, I still don't get it. I hate everybody. Like,
Yeah.
they're all,
I mean,
but
yes, from a writing style perspective, very beautifully written, beautiful prose, terrible people. I don't like them.
and why spend time with them when you can read Terry
Right?
Pratchett and you like the characters?
Indeed.
Hmm.
So, are we going to do a recap so we can go into spoilers?
I do have a recap.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Oh, I didn't say mine. I read this book several times. I've actually binged the entire Discworld and everything I can find on audio. But it's been a couple years. I just, as someone who grew up very religious, who no longer practices, I just love all the inside jokes, all the religious humor. Pratchett seems to have a deep understanding of religious thought and religious thought patterns without the reverence that believers tend to put on this stuff. In a way, reading this is almost like, well, it's like watching an alternate version of the life of Brian, but with gnomes. It's just pure
I would,
bliss for me.
I can see that.
Yes.
As a still religious person, you know what? Terry pokes fun at religion. There's a lot of things to laugh about. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
We're an odd people. We people
Yeah,
who
well,
practice
there's a reason
religion.
I said I no longer practice rather than no longer believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know,
Uh,
fair enough.
there's a fine, I don't know, there's a fine line between complete rejection and not practicing. But
yeah.
all right, so here's my review. Truckers, for in that day Mescal on the Gnome did receive the call from on high, saying, Come out from your den, and your dependents likewise, and seek the land that I will give you for an inheritance. And so the people of the den did find the store. There they multiplied their numbers greatly, but this was not to be their inheritance. For Arnold Brothers 1905 forgot the name of gnomes, the store being slated for demolition. Fleeing the land of bananas and carpet, determined to master the great contraption called Lori, the gnomish people began their great journey through the wilderness, an exodus in which they'd part traffic circles and defeat the vile one, he who is named Prices Slashed. So that's my review in the style of all the epigraphs or whatever they're called, chapter headings.
Golf clap.
Yes,
Very
that
well
was
done,
great.
sir.
You can tell I grew up reading the King James.
Yes, I can absolutely tell that. Which I also did. And so this book is delightful to me. Again with the change of perspective, like the first time I read it when I was a teenager, I was still very mired in that religious upbringing. And at this point in my life, I have been not religious for a good 20 years. And so I had completely forgot the religious aspects of this book. Like, it did not even factor into my recollection at all. And it's
and it's
such a
everywhere. And
Yeah.
it's not just the obvious, medieval world of the store. It's the thing. The
Yeah,
thing says we must do this.
right? It's
Sometimes I wonder if it was a burning thing.
it's a literal voice from on high. Like,
Speaking of the thing, I love the fact that he's like struggling to communicate. He's like, I realize language drifts. He doesn't say drifts, but it does drift. And so sometimes the store gnomes do understand him fine. Sometimes it's just interesting how he's like, really, I'm not sure what I need to say to get you guys to understand that the store is inside the outside.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's the character who says that, but yeah,
Is there a ceiling outside? What's that green carpet? You mean grass?
And the scene where they meet the gnome who watches the people and plays with electronics and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought you would have pointed heads.
Yeah, so the rain would fall off.
And small eyes, so you're not blinded by that big light in the sky. He's like, yes, there would be life, but not life as we know it.
Fair enough. It wasn't life as they know it.
Yeah.
Who turned on the sprinklers?
Right. And in book 2, when the store gnomes are all of them refer to the wind as the air conditioning, and as winter is setting in, and they're like, they need to turn the heater on, and Masculine's like, no.
There's no heater. Yeah. No, it's really, I love and how the gnomes don't actually kill each other, even though there was the Great War of whatever for the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And the mezzanine, the campaign for the mezzanine. The way the gnomes and the store divide themselves up is.
By the way, it was this book that taught me what a haberdashery is and a millinery.
Honestly, same, bro.
I had never heard of either.
Yeah.
I read a lot of Jane Austen, so I already knew.
I mean, I have since then, but I didn't at the time.
Yeah.
I love how with the guy who reads it, how he makes all the departments rhyme. So you've got the haberdashery, the millinery, the stationery, the
ironmongery.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ironmongery.
But I also like, as Red was saying, how they're divided into these little tribes, and when it talks about the people who live in kitty's clothes tend to be very peaceful and just.
And the people who live in what is it? The ones who live up at the upper levels.
They live in the break room.
They live in the break room, yeah. But that's not the name. They're, and they're like, oh yeah, they're really weird there. They live off tea and biscuits.
Yes,
and yogurt. It must be yogurt. They're very mystical people.
Yeah, very Tibetan monkish. No.
And how was it Corsetry is all bandits because they don't have there's nothing that any gnome needs there, so they have to rob everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
just
and the
love
whole
the
robbery
idea.
scene.
Yes, exactly. I love it when he's like, "No, I'm just not going to give him my stuff," and the bandits just kind of go away. I guess he's not going to give us our
Doesn't he
stuff.
punch one of them and they're like shocked?
Yes, something
Because
like
the
that.
store gnomes don't know how to fight back, and the outsiders are used to fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have to fight rats and foxes and,
Yeah.
they don't fight each other, but sorry, this is my stuff and I
Like,
need it to
We'll make an
survive.
exception. Like,
I also enjoy. Okay, so there's the gnome who goes out on the truck, right?
yeah.
And his dad had forbidden him to. And the way,
Right.
and when they think he's lost, the way his father responds, he's like, "Well, you could have more of men, you know."
Mhm,
It
mhm.
just he's like all in now. He's like he's just such a fighter, even though he's got a bad temper and has some stupid unfair ideas.
Yeah.
Mhm. If there's
So
even a
he,
chance that we will find my son, I'm all in.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite part, it reminded me so much of the Littles. Did you guys ever watch that cartoon?
I did, yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
And how they use like thread for ropes or whatever. And these little rats living, like
Yeah.
rat-like creatures that were living, and and their whole goal in life is not to be discovered by the humans. But it was really I really enjoyed that aspect of them improvising, like how to do things.
Mhm.
I mean, they
Yeah.
steal a truck.
My left or your left? Oh, my favorite. Road works ahead. Why would they say the road works if it clearly
Right?
doesn't?
Yes.
Like I don't think humans know what signs mean or what words mean. I mean, not only are they literal, but they assume all words only have one possible meaning.
Right.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
We are driving one way.
Yes. It's a
It's
one-way
just the
road,
epic.
and we're going one way. We're going this way.
Yeah, just watching them rig the truck so they can drive it, all that kind of stuff, just brought back lovely memories. And I also like how, what's the head outsider gnome named?
Masculine.
Masculine.
Mescaline, whatever.
I was like, so he's after a drug. But anyway, how he improvises things that the store gnomes don't think about, just because he sees the paper clips and he makes a rope or a ladder for the other
Yeah.
gnomes. That kind of stuff. And the Baroness, the scene where he's like, "We got to teach all the gnomes to read," and the Baroness is just sitting in the background like, "Yep, been saying it for all these years."
Yeah. The scene where Grandma first learns that women aren't allowed to read was.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yeah, I laughed out loud.
And then somebody is like asking, I forget who it was they're asking, but how's your head? Any signs of overheating?
Yes.
I mean, in fairness, the son who goes out, they think that his head will overheat too. So,
Oh,
mostly
yeah. Well,
it's about
his
women.
head does overheat. It never stops.
Right.
Yeah, the interplay between the two cultures is so great, and I think very realistic. Obviously, the
Mhm.
store gnomes needed to be shaken up a bit in their lifestyle, and also the outside gnomes, they learn like, oh, there are ways of dealing with humans that is more safe for us, and they also learn about more about how the human world works, because they've been very isolated off in the woods. They're fighting foxes.
Yeah.
I bet those adventures were fun. And Mescalin's like thinking about the fight he had with the fox, and he's like, I guess, is that fun? Like, they don't even know what fun is because they're scraping by.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
bit where the abbot dies just because he's so old, and they're like, I didn't know that was possible. I thought there had to be foxes involved. Like,
People just didn't come back.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yes. And good gnomes come back as garden ornaments.
right.
And then Mescalin's like, yeah, my dad said something about them getting peed on and rained on, and I'm down for that. And then the new abbot gets so upset. He's like, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, the young abbot is hilarious. Yeah.
Oh, he really is. He's trying, man.
Uh-huh.
He's good.
He's like, I'm
He
just
doesn't
tired
know.
of having an open mind. I thought this, and then I thought that, and then I thought the other. I can't keep thinking new things all the time.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Like, there's only so much new you can handle at once. I get it, dude.
Mhm.
I do love Gerda's character growth over the course of the trilogy.
Mhm.
Not to spoil it for Red or anyone else listening out there, but uh, where he ends up at the end of book 3, I'm like, yeah, buddy, you do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I just, like I said, this is delightful. And I really encourage, by the way, I don't want to put religious people off. He's not mean about it at all in the book.
Oh no, not a bit.
And I mean, I've encountered some authors that are very actually cruel to their religious characters. And he's not. He's very gentle and loving. And
No.
No, I would say that the faith that is depicted in these books pays off for
yeah,
the believers, and it's basically like, hey, there was something above and beyond us that we believed in but didn't understand, and then as we learn more about it and learn the truth of it, our faith was justified, and it just we went on to learn how little we knew of it.
yeah.
It,
Uh-huh.
And I
um,
just love it for them at the end of this book that they find this nice old quarry. They find electricity in the quarry so they can keep using the thing
Mhm.
if they want to.
Arnold
Um,
Brothers 1905 is still looking after us.
yeah, and
They get
he
along with the
is
rats in the quarry.
yeah, even at the
Mhm.
end of book 3, he's
And the
looking
foxes
after
learn to
them.
leave them alone very
Yes.
quickly because there's nothing more scary than several hundred gnomes with spears.
Um,
And the badger running away from them because it gets around that the gnomes are scared.
yeah.
Like, badgers are mean,
Um,
guys. If they're scared of the gnomes, you don't want to face these gnomes.
Yeah,
yeah.
well, we'll get into that in Diggers.
Well, that does
Pratchett
happen at the end of this.
is Pratchett is very respectful of religion. I also recently reread Small Gods from the
Oh, I
Discworld
love
series,
Small Gods.
and it really makes you think about the nature of belief.
Hmm.
Because a major plot point in that book is that people have stopped believing in God. They believe in the institution of his church.
Hmm.
And in a world where gods thrive on belief, this god has lost his power because nobody believes in him anymore. And really makes you think about what you believe, why you believe it, and where that belief comes from. Do you believe it from something that is inside you, is a core of your being, is something that you have really felt, or is it just because somebody has told you it your whole life?
Hmm.
And that's something that everybody has to decide for themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
It kind
am
of
in a
reminds me of
couple.
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that kind of reminds me similarly of the plot of American Gods.
Oh,
Mm.
yes. Yeah, very much.
Mhm.
Gaiman it was largely influenced by Pratchett in a number of his books.
We'll get
Um,
together.
yeah.
Good
Yeah,
omens, man.
yeah. Now I forgot what mine was, but that's okay.
I just want to bring that
It,
up
it,
because
yes, no, that's a
I know
very
that I
excellent.
have been afraid to read authors because I've been turned off.
Mm.
And
Oh, that's what I was going to say. That I'm in a couple Discworld groups on Facebook, and I've seen it mentioned several times. People claiming to either be students or teachers or professors or whatever in a comparative religion class, and claiming that they either assigned or were assigned small gods as part of the curriculum.
I mean, that
So
makes sense.
I thought that was just a brilliant, way to introduce someone to alternative ways of thinking of the divine.
yeah.
Speaking of, I Googled, was Terry Pratchett an atheist? And the first thing that comes up is lovers of Pratchett and lovers of God. Reddit, subreddit.
Yeah. No, I honestly I have seen some very nasty comments in some of the Pratchett Facebook groups where they're like, how does this politician or like character, personality, whatever, claim to be a Pratchett fan when their public beliefs or whatever politics so obviously disagree with Pratchett's worldview? And I'm like, how can you claim no Pratchett's worldview? Pratchett was not only is every book open to the reader interpretation of the reader, but Pratchett himself was just so respectful of people's desire to believe what they believed. It's something
I
else
would
in a
find it.
way.
Yeah, I would find it hard to put even some political valence on him at all. I'm sure he had political views.
Yes. No, the only political view that I can think of with Pratchett is that if everybody is willing, and that's a huge if, there is a way for people to work things out and get along. But it can't be a one-sided thing. And he makes that very clear in all his books. Like I was thinking recently about the vampire Black Ribboner in
Yeah.
I believe it's The Truth. And he gets along in human society, not because humans accept him, but because he's a Black Ribboner. He changed himself enough so that he's no longer a threat. And then we can deal with the human irrational fear of fearing a safe vampire, But he's no longer going around doing scary things to people.
I love that they swear by bargains. What is it? Best
Bargains
bargains?
galore.
Bargains galore, yes.
Bargains galore.
And they put on the security. He's prices slashed.
Prices slashed with his terrible lamp.
With his terrible light, yeah.
And bargains galore is the maid who cleans.
Right.
With her soul sucker.
But at that point, the new abbot, he's the assistant to the abbot at this point in the book, he says, "Oh no, we have all those things." So that's like where he's explaining something. He's like, they clean the carpet. He like recites the whole description of a vacuum cleaner.
Yes, because they've memorized all of the labels.
Yeah,
yes.
Great.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts of this book?
If you have any child who likes books between the ages of 12 and 100, I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
And somebody needs to turn this into a graphic novel.
Oh, so much.
That would be brilliant.
Yeah, don't let the part where it's a quote-unquote children's book turn you off. It's only a children's book because there's nothing inappropriate for children in it. It's quite enjoyable for all ages.
Yeah, I'm wondering. You say that I'm wondering about the smoking, because now if you have smoking in a movie, it's rated. Would people consider that?
Yeah. I mean, this was from the 90s, so times have changed. Yeah,
I was going to say
it
it involves death, but some of the more modern young adult fiction does definitely involve death. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, have you read the Grimm's fairy tales? They're pretty bloody.
Well, yes, but we went through a period between these two where all of a sudden everything was Disneyfied and no one could die.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. So there is smoking in the book, although none of the main characters smoke. It's only prices slashed.
Mm-hmm.
It lights the garage on fire with the diesel. And they're driving away, and the store is burning down behind. Just so great.
That's one way to guarantee you can't go back.
Yeah. But also the part where the gnomes who were faithful to Arnold Ross S. 1905 used that as like, oh, see, really, we did have to go. Everything must go. It's because the
including
store was
us
going to burn down. And it's like, honey, you're the one that burned the store down. Like
I think Mescaline realizes that too, but he doesn't say anything.
Oh yeah, Mescaline definitely knows it. The abbot knows it too, but he doesn't like to, think about it too hard. And what's his name? The one who drives everything doesn't care. He just wants to go faster.
Yeah.
I just love the directions. They're like, okay, go right. And then they're like, we need to slow down. A lot, slow down. Oh, right. It's so great. So,
look in the mirror. Anyway. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? I'm looking in the mirror. All I see is my reflection.
I see myself. That's probably good enough then.
and the head of the ironmongery just he disabled the door, so they have to crash through the door. Right.
Yeah, so proud of himself for cutting the wires inside the wall, but forgot to reconnect them.
Right.
Yeah.
And the mythology that the gnomes taught the humans everything, but because of the way their lives are lived, the humans can't keep up with the gnomes, and the gnomes are dying out faster. It was interesting that there was a loss of literacy
among the gnomes.
Yeah, among the gnomes. I thought, and I mentioned Plato's Cave. The whole thing with the store is very Plato's Cave, and Mescaline's trying, no, this is all shadows.
Yes,
That's
very
how
much, very
that's
much.
kind of what I thought of.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a perfect Plato's Cave analogy.
I think my favorite line in the book is at the very end where they're watching the jets take off, and Mescaline says to the engineer, he says, "Do you think you could steal one of those?" He goes, "Oh, I think we could. It only has 3 wheels."
Yes. Amount
So
of
good.
wheels means fewer wheels means easier to drive. Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I'm like, please don't steal the plane. Guys, don't do it. It will end badly. I'm sure they probably will. But so there's one joke that took me a second to get, and I wonder if kids will get it. And that's where he's showing they've been shown the picture of the gnome with the pointy head. He goes, "My head's not sharp." Grandpa says that. And Granny says, or he says, "You're right about that," or something like that. She just, you're not too sharp.
Oh,
And
yeah.
even with the inner politics of the little tribe, like even though technically she's not the head of the clan, she very clearly is the head of the clan. So anyway, just lots of fun
Of
little
course you're the
everything.
leader. Who says you're not the leader? Now go up there and lead and tell them to do this.
You're right.
And Grimmer just is there, man. She's a rock. I love her. I hope they get married and have lots of little no babies.
This has been great. Thanks for joining us in our review of the first of the Bromeliad trilogy, Truckers. And we look forward to you joining us for our next adventure.
Tori, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Come hear more from me on the Cosmere Deep Dive Podcast. Just go to patreon.com/CosmereCast to find a link to our Discord server. You don't have to pay us, but you can if you want to. I won't say no. Otherwise, yeah, thank you guys for having me. I'm always happy to talk Pratchett with people.
Well,
I just
see you next time.
I loved it so much,
Good
guys.
night, Internet.
Good night.
That concludes our episode. Please like and subscribe. Leave us a comment on YouTube. Give us 5 stars and drop us a review on Spotify, iTunes, or any podcast app that allows reviews. You can find us on the Legendarium Discord. The invite link is on legendarium.com and in the show notes. Green Team of the Legendarium can be found on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, and wherever great podcasts are heard. Thanks to Professor Craig for loaning us a little corner of your media empire. Shout out to Horizon Brave for starting it all. Music is Galactic Damages by Jingle Punks.
The radio, turn it off. I can't listen to it anymore.